right now on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, an authentic taste of New York right here in Kentucky.
This is dead on to the real deal New York bagel.
We're going inside the kitchen at Lexington's Great Bagel.
I can see where you get the name.
It's delicious. I love Great Bagel.
Yeah, fluffy bagels are very good.
We'll show you how they make them.
So you're really rolling in the dough.
Yeah.
And bake them.
So we're gonna flip the bagels off of the boards now.
And how they turn them into sandwiches both healthy and hearty.
The double bourbon bagel.
Bourbon bagels, hot brown bagels, and much more, along with the secrets to how it's all done the authentic way.
Another one of the secrets.
It's all coming your way right now on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
Tim Laird with you again for Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, this time in Lexington, and we're starting off the day with a great bagel.
We tell everybody, you really want to try a real bagel, you need to come to the Great Bagel.
And it's the real deal.
This is as close to a New York bagel as I can get.
And better
I'm
than-
talking original New York bagel, not what they're making today.
We come from Lawrenceburg here,
our bagels are
like once a
good,
week,
right?
just to have your bagel.
They come in one shape and size, but many flavors.
We have a specialty of French toast bagel and a plain bagel, a honey wheat bagel, Asiago, which is a cheese bagel.
They have a delicious hot brown bagel. I get it every time I come.
Chocolate chip and cinnamon raisin and berries.
I just had the cinnamon butter, and that was fantastic.
Different egg bagels and vegetable bagels.
I usually get maybe the cinnamon raisin or the veggie.
We use fresh ingredients in the vegetable bagels. We use broccoli and spinach, onion. The most popular bagel is the everything bagel.
The everything bagel.
Which is plain dough that you see here with the sesame, poppy, onion, garlic, and salt on top of it.
So if you don't know what to go for the everything, right?
Yeah, the everything. It's a safe bet.
You won't be disappointed.
The bagels are the work of husband and wife team Robert and Lotta Swan. They've come to Kentucky via Chicago and Boston, and they've brought with them what the bluegrass had been missing.
When I was in college, that was my staple, and I thought, these poor college kids.
They need a bagel.
They need a bagel.
So I'm so glad that you and Robert came here and opened up, and now I can get an authentic bagel. But you can tell business is good because you're really rolling in the dough.
There's a lot of dough going on.
You're going to share some of the secrets to what makes a great bagel.
Organic flour, high gluten, high bread flour, right from Minnesota, and have it shipped here by the pallet.
And you're making them fresh all the time. That's another secret.
And yeah, we make dough every single day. We do all of our prep every single day just to keep our ingredients fresher.
A normal batch of dough starts with 50 pounds of flour.
The dough is a pretty basic dough. It's basically flour, salt, a little bit of vital wheat and water, and malt. We're not putting any chemicals or any complicated ingredients, which allows us to carry an organic label for our bagels. They're 99% made from organic.
Fantastic. So I bet you probably go through a lot of flour, Robert.
We do, yeah. In our busy season, we do about 2,500 pounds every 13 days. The doughs are really low water content, around a 48-50% water content in the dough, so it's really a tough dough that most mixers can't handle, so you have to buy a specialty mixer.
I was going to say, now that's a mixer, right?
Right, that mixer has two different motors. One motor turns the bowl and the other motor turns the hook that drives the bowl.
That is a monster.
You could fit 100 pounds of flour at a time. Bring it up on the table and you let it rest. Then we cut it in strips and it heads to the divider former, which the divider cuts it into exact sizes so all the bagels are in the same size, and then the former forms them into the circles.
So this is doing a lot of the work for you.
Yeah, that helps us a lot. That machine can probably do about 3,600 bagels an hour if it wanted, if we could get that.
The machines are specialty for sure, straight out of New Jersey, the heart of real deal bagel country.
So they're the real deal machines that go with the real deal bagel.
We bring it over here, and sort of the inlet station for the dough. Cuts them in specific sizes that we can set using the machine itself.
The dough gets pulled into the machine little by little, and as fast as you can blink, they're cut to size, rolled out, and formed into rings.
This does most of the work, but you still have to have a little bit of hands-on.
Yeah, a little bit, because we want the holes to be a little bit bigger. It's kind of our thing to put the bagels on sticks out front, so we have them a little bit wider. Also, we try to make a lot of sandwiches with the dough, and this allows us to have them the size that we want. We use cornmeal on the boards to keep the bagels from sticking to the board. We put 20 on a tray. The trays go in the walk-in for at least 24 hours before they get used, so we're making the dough ahead of time. You want it to rise, but you don't want it to rise quickly. If it rises too quickly, it gets larger holes in the bread.
Oh, okay.
And you don't get the dense structure that you get in a bagel dough.
Which
so
is
you want
that
it to
true
rise.
structure you want when you bite into it. You can feel that. So another one of the secrets, and here they've been resting. Oh, this just smells great in here. It smells like fresh dough and oh, wonderful. We opened up the steel door and it is a vault full of dough, if you will.
Yeah, there's a lot of dough. Different egg bagels and vegetable bagels.
So we're ready to go.
We're gonna make some everything bagels today.
All right, the favorite. The dough is rested, but it's not a bagel yet. Here comes the step that really is important to a good bagel.
Boil the dough in water for a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna put it on these burlap boards that are wet.
Into the hot tub. But it's a special bagel hot tub. I mean, this actually was made to do this very process.
That's exactly right. This is a 25-gallon kettle made specifically for bagel boiling.
Now, how long will they be in there, Robert?
1.5 to 2 minutes.
This is where a lot of bagels skip this step, but this is really what is important to a good bagel. By the way, they say that a watched pot never boils. Look, I'm watching it and it's boiling.
We're gonna blanch them a little bit so that we can handle them.
The rounds are lined up on those wet burlap boards. Another big secret to making a great bagel.
The aluminum boards allow heat to transfer underneath and get the water in the burlap to steam up. The steam helps the bagels puff a little bit more, so you get a puffier bagel.
Then comes the rest, or in this case, you could say everything.
Everything is sesame, poppy, onion, garlic, and salt. It's a pretzel salt that we use. Same salt that we use for our salt bagels.
And you can certainly smell the garlic too, from that mix too. Oh, it smells great.
Next they go in the oven. These are stones basically. We got 4 shelves that can fit. I can fit 3 of these on each shelf. So you get a couple of people moving pretty fast. You can get a couple of 100 bagels at a time in the oven. When they're finished on the boards, we're going to flip them on the boards onto the stones, and they're going to cook on the stone the rest of the way. So we're going to flip the bagels off of the boards now. The steam has lifted up the bagels a little bit. You can see they're a little bit puffier than when we put them in there originally. We just flip them right off onto the...
Oh, that's a great process.
The baking actually happens above the stone. The stone actually keeps the part of the bagel that's against the stone cooks less than the part that's not against the stone.
10 or 12 minutes later, and the bagels are ready.
Perfect bagel right there.
But they still get even better. Still ahead, a great bagel turns into a perfect sandwich. We'll show the secrets to the double bourbon bagel. Plus, meatballs on a bagel? It's all coming up on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
Welcome back to Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. I'm Tim Laird, and we're doing bagels the authentic way.
We're taking you behind the scenes at Lexington's Great Bagel on Woodland Avenue.
They have really fresh, healthy bagels that you can't get anywhere else in town.
And we're learning the secrets to what makes these bagels so great.
Don't have to go to New York for bagels anymore. We can stay right here at the Great Bagel, right in Lexington, Kentucky.
It is, and they have good coffee too.
I tasted this tea, and it's probably the best iced tea I've ever had. I mean,
I'm not the only one to say that. Our tea is always organic, and we brew it fresh several times a day. The coffee is organic when it can be.
The bagels are organic too.
All of the flour is organic, so even the whole wheat flour is organic.
So keeping it fresh all the time.
Keeping it fresh.
The menu has something for everyone.
We do soups in the wintertime, and chowder is frequently on our menu.
Chowder's on the menu.
And of course, just about any flavor of bagel you could dream of. Some hearty, like the Kentucky hot brown bagel.
Yep, that's really good.
And some healthy, like the Great Bagel's Healthy Sprout with cucumbers and Brussels sprouts.
It's delicious. I love Great Bagel.
The different combinations between the bagels and the toppings, it's almost an infinite number of choices, really, when it comes down to it.
Get them plain or flavored with everything from fresh vegetables to bourbon. And they really get good when they're turned into sandwiches.
I mean, an array of toppings, however you want it.
We assemble everything to order, so nothing's just sort of sitting there stale, waiting for you to pay for it and walk out. It does take a little bit longer.
One of the healthier options is this, known as the skinny. It starts off with egg whites on the flat top.
This grill gets a lot of action.
This is a very overworked grill.
Chef Robert adds tomato, scallions, and Swiss cheese.
Basically just going to fold the whole thing together. Basically just an egg white omelet. And bring it over to our sandwich. Nice fresh toasted bagel. Put it together. Cut her in half and wrap it up.
So I can unwrap it and give it a taste, right, Robert? Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to unwrap this. Look at that melted cheese. Oh, does that look good? Wow, that is delicious. Oh my God. The crunch, the smoothness. Now that's a great bagel. Awesome job, Robert. That is just fantastic. God, I'm going in for another.
It's healthy for you and Mother Nature.
You not only going green, you went green. I mean, all the way from everything from the cups to the napkins to the recyclables.
And all our post-consumer content is either recyclable or compostable.
Everything from your napkins to your glassware to your wrappers, all fit that.
We do, it says right on the cup, I'm compostable.
Look. All right, now you have one of the sandwiches on there and you can make it a double, right?
Right. The double starts with a bourbon maple bagel that's sweetened with brown sugar, and of course it has, what else? Bourbon.
I notice you don't skimp any of the quality in all of your ingredients.
And it really is a double because there's bourbon in the bagel and in the cream cheese spread.
We're going to make about 4 pounds at a time here, so I've got 4 pounds of cream cheese. This is just ground nutmeg. We're going to put 3 teaspoons of that in there. It's 2 tablespoons of cinnamon.
And then a little pre-mixing.
I whip the cream cheese on high for a little bit to get it consistently moved in there. Well, you don't want to let it go too long. Again, you don't want to over whip it. It's about 4 ounces of bourbon in there. We're going to put 1 3/4 cup of maple syrup.
Next, a couple of tablespoons of vanilla extract and some more mixing. And the final ingredient, a 1.5 cups of brown sugar. The secret is to add that at the very end.
You want to get the cream cheese whipped up a little bit before you add your sugars, because if you put the sugar in too early, it'll pull all the water out of the cream cheese and make it real soupy, so you don't want to put the sugar in until right at the end. We're going to add the sugar to it now and whip it on high for maybe a minute or so more, and then we'll be done.
All right, make it a double, Robert. Here it is.
Here's the maple bourbon bagel. We make those every day here. We've got the bourbon cream cheese that we made earlier.
Perfect.
Pretty straightforward from that point. We're just assembling a bagel and cream cheese. You get the sweetness from the cream cheese and the just light bourbon flavor from the bagel, and you're ready to go.
When I ask for a bourbon, I always say make it a double, and this is it. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to taste this. That cream cheese is phenomenal. The maple comes out, a little hint of that bourbon. It's beautiful, especially on this maple bourbon bagel. You get it? Awesome. Well, like I said, make it a double, so I'm going in again. This is it. This is what we call downtown Triple Crown. This is awesome. For more information on the Great Bagel or any other featured restaurants and Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, log on to newlocaltv.com.
And for more secrets, stay tuned. Next up, New York meets Kentucky, and it's a match made in heaven.
It is a great bagel.
See how they make a bagel into a hot brown. Plus, the secrets of a cult classic at the Great Bagel known simply as the BMB. It's all coming up on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. Welcome back to Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. this time at Lexington's Great Bagel on Woodland Avenue. It's the home of Robert and Lotta Swan, transplants to Kentucky by way of Chicago and Boston.
I love those cities.
Yes.
They're both, I consider them both my home, but Lexington is now too.
Authentic bagels are in their blood, and they've become quite a hit here in the Bluegrass.
It's safe to say they're rolling in the dough.
We do on average about 500 bagels a day. On the weekends, it's upward towards 1,000.
It hasn't always been that way. Robert went to culinary school in the 90s, then left the restaurant business for the IT world.
Got out of doing that and did some other stuff in IT-related field and was able to save some money so that I can now come back and open my own restaurant. I always had a passion for cooking, so I'm glad to be back doing that. It's harder work, that's for sure, but rewarding.
Now, the baker's hours aren't near the banker's hours, right? I mean, you're putting in a lot of time making sure the dough's ready and...
Yeah, the bakers work early in the morning, so they come in around 4 in the morning so that we can open at 7.
Unlike a lot of other chefs, they're just getting home at 4 in the morning. You're coming in.
We're coming in at 4 in the
That's
morning.
right.
People line up for these bagels first thing in the morning.
And they're not just for breakfast anymore.
We have this sandwich called the B&B, which is a take off of a Vietnamese sandwich, but it literally has a cult following.
Once they taste it, they're hooked on it.
It keeps me coming back each week.
We're gonna make the B&B sandwich. It's just an egg bagel we're gonna start with. We're gonna toast it, start that ahead of time.
Then, the meat of the matter, house-made meatballs.
So what's in the meatball?
They've got scallions in them, sriracha, which is a chili sauce, and they also have a little bit of a fish sauce in them. Also, garlic, fresh basil.
Those go on the grill.
Get a little caramelization on there.
Yep. Egg bagel coming out of the toaster. Sriracha mayo, we make this ahead of time. It's basically mayonnaise with sriracha in it and a little bit of scallion.
Very easy. You can do that at home now. That's easy.
pretty easy
Sriracha,
one.
mayonnaise, and a little scallion.
You definitely have to be okay with a little bit of spicy for this sandwich.
Perfect.
It gets fresh jalapenos also on it. This is daikon, which is a white radish and carrots mixed with white rice flour and a little bit of sugar.
Very good.
It's kind of like a slaw that goes on the sandwich. There's a little fresh cilantro that goes on the sandwich also, and your sliced jalapenos.
It's a jalapeno. Oh yeah.
Then come the meatballs, and the B&B is ready to go.
One thing about it, you don't skimp on any ingredient, do you? I mean, this is a meal in itself.
Ready to go.
That's what I call a B&B, and that's a wrap. Oh, I mean, just look at the size of this. Oh, man. That sauce is amazing. The meatball, the crunch of the daikon and carrot, and then add a little bit of the heat of the pepper. This is awesome. This is why they keep coming back, the B&B. Just one of the reasons.
Another crowd pleaser is Great Bagel's take on the Kentucky Hot Brown.
So the Kentucky Brown, another big favorite here at the Great Bagel?
Yeah, it's a favorite, again, a local favorite. You have to put it together. I adapted the recipe just from what I have had from hot browns around. The Kentucky Brown gets grilled turkey, bacon. We make our own Mornay sauce from scratch every day, so you get a Mornay sauce, tomatoes and pimentos.
We're going to have a great hot brown then.
So you've got just sliced tomato on there and some pimentos cut up in pieces.
Then the grilled turkey and bacon go on top of that.
Our house-made Mornay sauce, we make this every day from scratch. It's just a little bit of heavy cream, some Gruyere cheese, and some Parmesan cheese, basically reduced. Get that cheese on there, melt it over everything. A little bit of pop from the pimentos is a great sandwich.
A great sandwich whose signature is a great bagel, made just like they do it in New York, right here in the Bluegrass. Thanks to Robert and Lotta for showing us all their secrets, and thank you for watching.
That'll do it for this edition of Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. I'm Tim Laird, and we'll see you next time.